Thanks for joining me. Today you'll need a couple of blankets, 2 blocks, a belt, and a little bit of wall space. Let's get started. Okay, so come to sitting on your blankets. You're gonna want to sit so your hips are in line with your knees. Then take your hands to the buttocks flesh, roll the inner thighs, inner groins down towards the blankets. And cross your legs, walk your feet out towards the knees. Let your knees descend and bring your hands to the blanket. Press your fingertips down and lift the front of your spine up, lift the chest bone up, roll the shoulders back and down so there's broadness across your chest and the back body is descending, shoulder blades descending. Reach your elbows back, keep pressing the hands and lift the side ribs. Relax the knees and then join the palms together at the center of your chest. With your thumbs, lift the chest bone, the breastbone or the sternum up. Soften, go ahead, soften and close your eyes. Feel the tailbone pressing, take your navel back to the spine, sitting tall. And just observe that effort it takes to sit tall. Find a little less effort within that. Relaxing your throat. Let's chant one together here. Take a deep breath in. Inhale, relift your chest. Exhale, release your head down. Relax your throat. Release your hands down. Relax the shoulders down. Inhale, lift your head up. And slowly open your eyes. Now go ahead, bring 2 blocks over. Now have your 2 blocks in the front on the tall setting. Still sitting cross-legged. And then walk your blocks forward. Press your hands into the blocks. Descend the outer hips and the tailbone down. And then reach those blocks forward. Look forward, lift your chest. And then let the head come down in between the arms. Press the index and the thumb down. And roll your inner arms slightly towards the ceiling. Exhale, fully release your abdomen. Spread the back of the pelvis area, the sacrum. And walk the blocks back. Change the cross of your legs. Walk the feet out. Let the knees descend. And then press down onto the blocks. Walk those blocks out. So as you walk them out or slide them out, descend the hips, the tailbone. Move your chest forward, sternum bone forward. Release the head. Exhale fully. On the inhales, lift the chest. Exhale fully, release the abdomen. Spread the back of the pelvis. Press the index and thumb area, the inner hand. Roll the inner arm slightly towards the ceiling, the inner upper arm. Let the head go. And then walk the hands back, or the blocks back, and come all the way up. Now go ahead and move your blankets. You're going to come down On your back, you're going to need a belt. So have a belt, 2 blocks, and slide your mat to the wall. Have the blocks at the wall, actually 1 block at the wall, and 1 block by your outer right hip. This block will be by your left leg. So you're going to lie down on your back, open up your belt, and just slide that block out for a minute first, and let's wedge into the wall. So have both feet together here, hold the mat, and press your feet into the wall, press your hands towards the feet and straighten the legs. Just do that again, wedging in, straightening the legs without lifting the buttocks. Press your inner feet into the wall, press your outer shoulders down. This is Supta Tadasana, reclined mountain pose. Now take this block in under your left leg, put the foot up, wedge in again so that left foot is pressing in to the wall on top of that block. And then stretch your other leg up. And then bring that other block in by the side of your right hip. Now, you're going to want this leg straight up to 90 degrees. That's what I'm aiming at here. So you might be able to do that without that other foot being lifted up. So you could also keep that foot at the wall. But if it's hard to get this leg up to 90 degrees, then lift your other foot a little more. If that still doesn't work, then go closer to the wall and press and bring that other foot higher on the wall. Now, in fact, we're going to move this block a little bit away. Now, hold the belt straps with both hands. Draw your arms down. Now, bend your elbows and have a light grip with those fingers. And stretch up through the big ball mound of the big toe. Stretch up through the inner leg. And at the same time as the foot is stretching up, draw the leg down into the hip socket. And move the sitting bone towards the wall. And then bend the leg. Now put the right foot on the block. Stretch the other leg up, belt around the ball mount here, and then go ahead, push the foot into the wall, straighten that leg. So there's this little bit of wedging here, moving the tailbone towards the wall. And then hold the belt with 1 belt strap in each hand. Slide your hands down the belt and have a light grip here. So we're not yanking this foot down. Light grip with the hands and make the leg work. Reach up through the inner leg to that ball mound of the big toe. And reach the left sitting bone towards the wall. Chest is open. And release. And I'll just go back to the first side. Bring the block over under your left leg and stretch the right leg up. Once that leg goes straight, then press your left leg into the wall and straighten that left leg. Now, move that sitting bone of that area leg towards the wall, but also keep pressing that other foot into the wall. Press the thigh down, descend the inner groin. Now keep the hands straight this time. Reach them up towards the big toe. This is hand to big toe pose, but we're helping a little bit with the belt. Now Slide this block in by the side of your right hip. Now hold, or the right hip, hold with one hand both belt straps and take this leg over that block. Now you're going to feel that block on the outer hip. Then place your elbow down. But I want you to feel that block on the outer hip. So you're stretching out through the inner leg, drawing back from that little toe side and outer heel into the hip socket. Reach your other hand straight out to the side. Soften your throat. Turn your abdomen away from that aerial leg and keep pressing your inner foot into the wall. And then bring that leg back up, take the belt off, and let's do the other side. So move the block. I'm going to turn around so you can see the other side. So now I'm in fact doing my right leg. You'll be doing your left leg. Now you're going to keep that leg on the block at the wall. Stretch your left leg up. And then once that leg is straight, I'm holding the belt with straight arms. Once that leg is straight, I'm going to push the foot into the wall. Now reach that sitting bone, left sitting bone towards the wall. Both legs are straight. Draw your arms, outer shoulders down towards the floor. Now have this block right up against your hip. Hold the belt as if you would go up high, as if you're going to reach that big toe. Take your arm out to the side and then take your leg over the side. I want you to feel that block on the outer thigh. Reach out through the inner leg and draw from the little toe side, your outer heel, back into the hip socket. Press the standing leg that's at the wall firmly into the wall and turn your abdomen away from that aerial leg. Soft throat. Breathe. Inhale, bring the leg up. Take the belt off. Bend your legs and roll to the side. Next, we're going to do Parsva Konasana. Keep your mat at the wall and just have a block. Okay, have a block by your right foot and let's do this pose with the other foot at the wall. So go wide here, press your outer heels down, press the ball mounts of your big toes down, tailbone down and forward, lift your chest, roll the shoulders back and down. Turn your right foot out and make that turn come from the hip. Roll the inner leg to the outer leg and then take your abdomen back and press into the back heel. Now go ahead, bend this leg, bring the inner knee back, take your arms out to the side, reach over, bring your top hand on the waist. Now come down on this block. I have mine on the tall setting. Press your outer knee into the arm and that will help you to turn the chest, turn the top shoulder back, turning the chest, the abdomen. Now press that back heel into the wall strongly and extend through the crown of your head. And just go ahead and reach the top arm up. Turn the palm, reach it over your head. One more breath here, extending, reaching from the back foot to the fingertips. Turn the chest. Inhale And bring the arm back, come up, turn the toes, join the feet together. Let's do the other side. Go ahead, go wide, have your block behind you, a wide stance, move the tailbone down and forward, lift the abdomen, the chest, roll the shoulders back and down, turn your left foot out, and make that turn come from the hip. And then the abdomen goes back towards the wall, slightly pressing into that back outer heel. Go ahead, bend the leg, keeping the inner knee pressing to the outer knee. Stretch your arms out. Reach over onto the block, keep it on the high setting, and press that outer knee into the elbow. Turn the abdomen, the chest, top shoulder back. Reach the arm out and up, straight up. Turn your palm to the head side, reach the hand over your head. From the back foot, reach. And turn. And inhale, come up. Turn the toes forward. Join the feet together. Now we're going to repeat this pose, but this time you're going to step to the back corner of your mat, and step the other foot out, but have it so it's more centered on the mat. So you're at an angle with these feet, and roll that inner leg to the outer leg, keeping that back heel pressing. And then go ahead, lift your chest, roll the shoulders back and down, bend the leg, reach the arms out, come over onto the block, and just see what this feels like here with the legs on an ankle, pressing the outer knee back, turn the chest, draw this leg from the knee up into that right hip socket, turn and stretch your top arm out, roll the shoulder back. This time reach it over your head and press that back heel into the wall. Reach through the top hand and then swing the arm back, come up, turn the toes, walk your feet together. Move your block to the back and step your right foot at the wall into the back corner of that mat, and step your other foot out so it's a little bit past the center of that mat. So my feet are on an angle here. Turn that and roll that leg from the inner to the outer. Bring your hand on the waist area here, lift your chest, bend the leg. Come down onto the block, press the outer knee into the hand, turn the abdomen, turn the chest, roll the shoulder back, stretch the arm out, reach the arm in front and over your head, press into the back heel at the wall, reach through your fingertips. And this bent leg foot is pressing and drawing from the outer knee, drawing that hip back towards the other buttock. Turn, exhale, turn again to the ceiling. Inhale, come up. And turn the toes forward. And join the feet together. Come to your wall. Hands on the wall. Press your hands into the wall, straighten the arms, walk your feet hip width, be a little pigeon toes, turn the heels out, and press the hips back. Now I want to get a sense for where my heels are. I want to have them right under my outer hips. Reach the hips back, release the head in between the arms. Press your hands strongly into the wall. Roll the inner arms to the ceiling. bend your knees, and walk up to the wall. Now go ahead, take your block and put the block, the long end this way, put the block against the sacrum, step to the wall. So the block is just a little bit higher than the sacrum here, and then push it down towards the tailbone. So I'm getting that same wedging as we did when we were lying down. Right? So the tailbone is going down and forward. The pubic bone is lifting, the abdomen is lifting. Lift the sternum, chest bone, roll the shoulders back and down, reach down through your fingertips. Open your elbow creases, reach down through all the fingers. Standing tall. And then interlace the fingers in the front, turn the palms out, press your elbows towards each other. Inhale, reach your arms up. Reach your arms up, lengthen the side ribs. Firm the legs. Roll the front of the thighs inwards. Exhale, bring your arms down. Change the interlock. Bring your other hand, thumb and index on top. Turn the palms out. Press your elbows and forearms in towards each other. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Reach up through your hands. Lengthen the side ribs. Front thighs firm, kneecaps lifted. Exhale. Bring the arms down and take the block out. Now, let's do Trikonasana, triangle pose. So again, come to the wall, step wide, bring the thumbs up. All right, let's do Trikonasana. So again, go wide, have the hands on the hips, press the front thighs back, firm those legs, lift your chest, stand tall. Turn your right foot out, press into the back heel, stretch your arms out, one will be at the wall. Now I really want to firm, especially this front leg. Both of my legs are staying straight. I'm reaching over onto the block, turning the chest. I might be able to lower that block, but you want to let everyone look down on your leg. When you look down, you want to keep that shoulder in line with your leg. So keep the block tall if you feel that you're leaning forward and the buttock sticks out. Now draw up through this leg and move the outer right thigh forward. Stretch your arm up. And inhale, come up. Join your feet together. Let's turn. Walk wide. Firm your legs. The tailbone down and forward. Lift your chest. Turn your left foot out. Once you turn, maybe you can go a little wider. Roll that inner leg to the outer leg. Press into the back heel. Stretch both arms out. Now as you come over, make that leg firm, that front leg firm. Reach over. Start with the block on the tall setting. Turn your chest, your abdomen. Roll the top shoulder back. Look down at that leg. Can you keep the shoulder in line with the leg, the hip? This leg is drawing up. And this outer thigh is pressing forward. If that buttock starts to stick back, Then go higher. Make it accessible. Stretch the arm up. Breathe, lengthen through the crown of your head. And come up. Turn the toes, the feet, and let's repeat this as we did before, where we have the legs on an angle. So go ahead, step your foot to the back end of the corner of your mat. Walk your other foot out. Turn the foot out 90 degrees and go wide. So my front foot is in the middle of the mat, or even maybe a little further towards the front end. That leg is now rolling out. Notice how it's a little easier to roll that leg out. Press into the back heel, come up right with the trunk, turn the abdomen towards the wall slightly. Firm both legs. Reach over. Come onto the block. Now maybe you can lower it. Draw up through the leg. So when you press your hands into the block, the hand into the block, make that help you firm up through that leg. Turn the chest. Press the back heel into the wall. Stretch your top arm up. Notice how this feels a little different with the feet at an angle here. And then reach the hand back. Come up. Turn your feet forward. Join the legs. Let's do the other leg. Step to the back corner. Step your left foot out to the middle, or even a little past the middle. Turn that leg out 90 degrees. Roll that inner leg to the outer leg. Come upright with the trunk. Press into the back heel. Stretch both arms out. Firm the legs. Reach out. Come onto the block, the medium or the tall setting. Now, so you still want to draw up through this leg and press this outer thigh forward. Press your hand into the block to help you draw up through that leg. Firm the muscles. Turn your chest. Stretch the top arm up. Couple breaths here. Feel that stability of the back foot pressing into the wall. And inhale, come up. Turn your toes forward. And let's join me in doing Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Now, for this first version of half moon pose, I've turned my mat so it's against the wall. You don't actually necessarily need a mat, but I want to face the wall here. So I'm going to put my block behind my legs. So I'm going to come into Trikonasana, right? Like we just did. So turn that foot out. So go ahead, turn the foot out, face the wall, put both hands on the wall, press into the back foot and lift your chest, right? And then come over, stretch that arm out, bring it down on the block, bring it in under your shoulder. Bring the top hand, keep the top hand on the wall and turn, and turn. Now you can watch this first before doing and go back and repeat this with me and do it together. And then you're going to bend this leg, reach the block out, step in, see how my big toe is on the floor. This knee wants to concave in, so I'm pressing it back and lift up, hold the hand on the wall. Now I'm lifting up through, whoops, lost my balance there. Lifting up through my standing leg, my inner leg, turn the abdomen towards the wall, stretch this top leg out. Take the head back in line with the spine. And then I come down, step far back. I can even swing my hand up. And I'm going to turn my toes. And I come up. So maybe a good idea to rewind and do this pose from scratch. Now I'll do the other side. So step wide, face the wall. Get a sense of stability of balance here. Lift your chest, roll the shoulders down. Turn now your other foot out. Like we just did, turn it out from the inner leg to the outer leg. Bend the leg. Sorry, I forgot. Stretch your arm out, come down on the block, bring it in under the shoulder. Take your other hand on the wall. Now bend this leg, keeping the inner knee back. Stretch, move the block out as fast as you can. Step in, big toe is touching the floor, and then I'm swinging that back leg up. Then I'm straightening my standing leg, turning my abdomen, using this hand at the wall to help me turn. Balance. Stepping down slowly, stepping the block in. Reaching my hand up, Trikonasana, and coming up, turning the toes forward. Let's do this in the center of the room, but with a foot on the wall to help us balance. Okay, so let's see if we can do this pose again, half moon pose, with a foot at the wall and to help us balance. So if you like, just watch this pose for a second and you can rewind and do this with me again. So I'm going to put the block, tall setting, behind my right foot. Now I'm stepping not as wide this time because I want to reach the wall. Turning the foot out, coming down on the block, turning. So it's a very narrow, feet are closer together, Trikonasana. I'm stretching this block out, bending the leg, stepping in. Now I want to put this foot on the wall. I think I got the right distance, so I want that. So I'm going to push my foot into the wall, so I have my hips right over my ankles. This block is a little tall for me. I'm going to lower it, turning my chest, stretching from the back foot through the crown of my head. Now this is a strong stretch on the inner standing leg. Move your top arm to the ceiling. And bring the hand down, bend the leg, step back, come in and come up. All right, turn around, step, not so wide because you want to be able to reach the wall with that back foot. So it's not quite how your Trikonasana triangle pose would normally look. Turn. Now I like to just look forward. Some people like to look down. You have to find out what works best for your balance. Top hand is on the waist. Bend the knee. Reach the block out. I'm going to lower my block here. Keeping this knee back. Inner knee to outer knee. Step in. Big toe on the mat. Keep the standing leg bent. Put your toe mount on the wall. Straighten the leg. Straightening both legs. Turn the chest. Turn that top shoulder back. As you turn the abdomen to the ceiling, it's a strong stretch of that inner standing leg. Reach your top arm up. And bring the hand down on the waist. Step back. Whoop. And straighten the leg. Reach your top arm up and come up. Now this is one way of doing it. Of course, there's many ways. If balance is really, really hard this way, we'll try it some other day with the back to the wall. Now next pose is Prasarita Padottanasana, the wide-legged forward bend. So go ahead, get 2 blocks. Okay, I have my 2 blocks. You're gonna bring them to the tall setting. Go ahead, take your legs wide. One foot is still pressing into the wall. Bring your thumbs towards the tailbone, move it down and forward, lift your chest. Lift your chest, look slightly up. Firm your legs. Firm the legs. And then come forward. Bring your hands onto the blocks. Tall setting. Just go with the tall setting. Move your chest forward. So you want to have your upper back, the space between the shoulder blades, you want to aim at moving it down towards the chest. So it's a concave back. Now once you move forward here, you might find that you can go a little wider with those legs. But you only want to go so wide that you can still keep control of the legs. You can firm the legs, roll the thighs, front of the thighs in, lift up through your arms. Now see what happens when you lower the blocks. Can you lift up through your arms? Can you have that concave back still? What happens if you go all the way down on the floor? Firm the legs. Now come back up on your blocks. Now walk those blocks forward. So I have to keep up, lifting up through my legs. I have to keep pressing my thighs back so I'm not hanging forward. There's even weight on my feet here. Let the head go in between the arms. And then walk your blocks back on the lower setting, depending on your flexibility, towards the feet. Bring your hands with the fingers pointing forward. Let the head go down. Press your palms into the blocks and push the elbows towards each other. Come forward. Let the head go. Firm the legs, the thighs. Lift the kneecaps. Inhale. Walk those blocks forward. This is hard work for the legs. Look forward. Join the feet together. And come all the way up. Okay. Let's join me down for some seated poses. Okay, now join me on the floor. You're going to need a belt, a block, and then I have blankets folded long ways. There's a reason for that. I'm going to have 3. I'm going to sit pretty tall here to begin with, like that. Now go ahead, come to sitting, have your block behind you. You're going to take your left leg out to the side. And then you're going to take a belt. I just doubled it up because it's long, and I'm bringing it under the back of my knee, holding the belt. Walking that leg, I'm sitting at the edge of those blankets, walking that leg out to the side. Now have your block behind you. Push your hand into that block. Lift the front of the spine up. And now I'm pulling especially that inner belt, pulling that belt up towards the ceiling. So I'm getting a stretch of my inner groin and also all the muscles here in the pelvic floor. Stretch out through the other leg. Take a few breaths here. Feel that stretch of that inner thigh, inner groin, the pelvic muscles, pelvic floor. And then take that belt off, stretch that leg out, bring the belt to the left leg, bend that leg in. This is also good for the knee if we have knee problems, if we have meniscal problems. You want to especially pull that inner belt towards the ceiling. Now hold the block, press down on that block, move the sacrum, the back of the pelvis in and up, lift the front of the spine, sit tall, pull the belt. You have to use this arm a little bit to pull up through that belt. Open that inner thigh, inner left thigh, pelvic floor. Reach out through the other straight leg, reach out through the heel. Breathe, just one more breath here. And bring the leg in, stretch that leg out. And now this time, hold the inner knee and bring your legs into Baddha Konasana, bound ankle pose. Bring your heels in close and bring your hands to the blocks behind you. Press down on the blocks. Lift the front of the spine. Roll the shoulder blades back and down. And then go ahead and press your feet together. Press your feet together. And you can feel when you do that how the outer hips engage. Your knees draw into the hip sockets. The inner thighs get a stronger stretch. And let the knees descend to their capacity down towards the floor. And try that same thing with the belt. Bring your belt in. Bring the belt under your feet. Hold close to your feet and sit tall. Sit tall. Press your feet together. Lift the front of the spine. Lift the sternum. Press your feet to descend the outer knees. And I could actually sit on 4 blankets. So the higher the knees, right, the less they want to come down. It's all dependent on our hip socket. The higher we should sit in this pose, sitting tall. And then release. Keep your 2 blocks for the next pose. Now move all the way to the left side of your blankets. Bring your sitting bone back and stretch both sitting bones back. Stretch both legs out into Dandasana. Now we're going to do Janu Shirshasana, head to knee pose. All right? So let's see how far that head can come down. So hold the inner knee, roll the leg out in the hip socket, bring the heel in close to those blankets. So I'm sitting on the back end of these blankets and so that my outer thigh, I'm sitting tall here, so my outer thigh can come down on the blankets. Then hold the inner knee. Your other leg is straight, your Dandasana leg, staff pose leg, press the thigh down. Now get the block behind you and sit tall. And there's a little turn of the abdomen, not a big turn, not a twist, but from this outer thigh here, there's a little turn so that imagine your belly button is looking straight at your big toe. Now go ahead, move this block forward, lift it up, stretch your right arm up. And then bring it down on the block. Walk this block out. Bring this block forward. So this hand is going to push to help you turn the belly towards that straight leg. And the other hand is reaching out on that block. Now you don't want to feel pain in this bent knee. This pose has been giving me a little bit of trouble here. It didn't used to. I used to be able to just bend forward. So be aware. That's why I'm a little higher here. And it allows us to bend forward from the hip hinge, letting the head go, using that hand on the left block, left hand, to draw, to turn the abdomen, and to draw this straight leg into the hip socket. And then walk the block back. Hold the outer knee, straighten that leg out. Let's move the blocks behind. Scoot over to your right side. Hold the inner left leg, left knee, and this knee is bothering me a little bit, so I'm not going to put the heel as close, but if you can, bring that heel in close to those blankets and let this outer thigh descend. Roll it back here. Outer thigh rolling back. And then hold the inner knee, hold your block, sit tall, turn the abdomen forward towards that big toe. So the outer thigh is turning back, but this trunk is coming forward here. And then move your block forward in front of that bent leg. Stretch your left arm up. Lengthen up. And then come forward, hand on that block. Other block, back block, move it to the side of that straight leg. Press your hand down on that to turn your abdomen towards the straight leg and reach the other block out. And just make sure that there's no pulling in this inner knee. Exhale, let your abdomen release, the head release, and come up. Take the blocks back behind you, bring that knee in, and straighten that leg out. Come to the center of your blankets. Sit tall. Now, take your legs wide. Scoot back a little bit on those blankets. Bring your hands to the very top of your hip creases here and roll your inner thighs down towards the floor. Stretch out through the inner legs. Go all the way. Inner calves down towards the floor. Then bring your hands back to the hip creases. Sit tall. Bring your hands back on those blocks behind you. Sit tall. Press your thighs down. Reach out through the heels. Toes spreading. And that pressing down on the legs will help you to sit tall. Abdomen lifting, chest lifting. Roll the shoulder blades into your back. And now let me show you this from the side. We're going to come forward just a little bit. So now I've moved my blocks to the front. I'm still sitting tall. I'm going to take one block and stretch it up. Reach up. Lengthen the trunk. Lengthen the side ribs. Press the thighs down. And then bring the block down in front. Press your hands down and sit tall. Now as I come forward, I walk this block forward, press my hands down, and I only want to come forward from the hip hinges. So not from the lower back, right? So if that happens, I'm not ready to come forward. I'm just going to sit tall and feel this stretch on the inner groin. It's a strong stretch. So feel what your body is able to do. Only come forward if you can hinge forward from the sacrum moving forward, the hip hinges. So it requires flexibility of those hamstrings. Let the head go. Or if you're sitting tall, sit tall. And then walk the blocks in and hold your knees and join the feet together. All right, let's join me in Setu Bandha. All right, so for Setu Bandha, just have one block. Come down on the center of your mat. Good. And hold the mat, press the outer shoulders, the upper arms down, roll the shoulders under a little bit. Now go ahead, press into the feet, lift the buttock. Lift the buttocks. Roll the shoulders, blades under some more. Lift, push the hands into the mat, push the feet into the mat, lift the buttocks up, middle of the buttocks up. See how I'm moving my chest towards the chin. Now I'm going to take this block, under my sacrum here. Now I'm putting my block on the high setting. You may not quite be able to do that, so you lower it to the medium setting. Now if you do have the tall setting, have it on the wider base so it's supporting both sides of your SI joint. And press the feet into the mat. Now soften your abdomen. The knees sometimes have a tendency to go to the side, so keep those knees towards each other, reaching from the outer hips, pressing the inner feet, relaxing your abdomen. Relaxing your throat. If your block is on the taller setting, you are going to be able to interlace the hands behind, straightening the arms, and rolling the shoulder blades under a little bit more, getting a little bit stronger lift in that chest. If the block is on the medium setting, then you can't really reach your hands around it, so just continue holding the mat and pressing those upper arms down to relift that chest. And then relax your arms. Then relax into the pose. Letting all those spaces that I mentioned relax, the throat, the abdomen, the eyes. Now go ahead, take the block out slowly, lift up, squeeze the buttocks. Now move the top of the buttocks to your lower buttocks. Come down on your lower back first. Bring your right knee into your chest. Straighten the left leg out. Bring the left leg in. Straighten out through your left heel, right heel. And then go ahead and come up. And we're going to set up for Viparita Karani at the wall. Have 3 blankets and a belt. Okay, now for Viparita Karani today, I'm using 3 blankets. So I have them folded this way. And I'm placing them a little bit staggered against the wall. Maybe just pulling them out slightly. Depends on the length of your trunk. Now you want this to lift your chest, right? And then we're going to place a belt around the middle of your shins. All right. Now to come in, I want to get those buttocks close. So roll back onto your, roll onto your back. Keep your knees bent and scoot in so that you feel those blankets really lifting your sternum bone. So your shoulder blades are coiling under. You're coming close to the wall with the sitting bones. Your hamstrings should be comfortable. If they're not comfortable, then you do have to move back from the wall. And then your legs are hip width. Let your legs descend down into the hip sockets. Palms turning up. Now completely relax. Soften your abdomen. Feel the sacrum area in the back of the pelvis relaxing, spreading. Your legs relaxing out into the belt and down towards the hip sockets. Relaxing your jaw, the throat, your eyes, letting the eyes release back. Imagine the skin on your face releasing from the center of your forehead down towards each temple. Corners of your eyes relaxing down towards each temple. Now slowly go ahead, bend your legs, slide backwards, all the way off those blankets. Take your belt off, cross your legs on the blankets. Cross your legs the other way. And then slowly go ahead. Roll to your side, bring your knees in towards the chest, support your head. And slowly come up to sitting. Join your palms together. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. See you next time.